I
We
got one
love
more
hip
story for
hop.
us here, and it's about the tariffs. Trump said that he's going to push the tariffs that were supposed to start in the next 3 days. We were supposed to get them on Saturday. Well, it would have probably been on the Monday, the 3rd. We were supposed to get a 25% tariffs on a bunch of different products, including our automobiles and all automobile parts and different things like that. And Trump decided that he's going to push the tariffs back until April 2nd. Okay, I'm going to play a little bit of clip here. My bad. I'm going to play a little bit of this clip here. He said he wanted to move it to April 2nd and not the 1st because April 1st is April Fool's Day. And he didn't want to I guess he doesn't want to trick the people, but I don't know. I really don't know if these tariffs are going to happen. We've been trying to counteract said tariffs. We've been trying to beef up our security when it comes to the borders, because that's probably like the biggest problem that Trump's been saying, and I'm going to put the quotation marks on it. He's been saying is the issue is the weak border and the amount of people who've been getting into America from our Canadian border, and the amount of Fenty that's been coming from over here in Canada that he's saying is coming from China, landing in Mexico and Canada, and going into America. So I'm going to play the clip over here of what he had to say about this.
To continue the pause on tariffs against Mexico and Canada.
No, I'm not stopping the tariffs. No, millions of people have died because of the fentanyl that comes over the border.
Even with the 90% drop in border crossings, though,
well,
last month compared to about a year ago.
Yeah, they've been good, but that's also due to us, mostly due to us. I mean, it's very hard. It's right now very hard to come through the border. But the damage has been done. We've lost millions of people due to fentanyl. It comes mostly from China, but it comes through Mexico and it comes through Canada. And I have to tell you that, on April 2nd, I was going to do it on April 1st, but I'm a little bit superstitious. So I made it April 2nd. The tariffs go on, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I think you're going to see something that's going to be, we've been taken advantage of as a country for a long period of time. We've been tariffed, but we didn't tariff. Now I did, when I was here, we took in $700 billion from China. $700 billion. Not one president in the history of our country took in 10 cents from China. At the same time, China respected us. Now, when COVID came in, that was a different deal. I used to call it the China virus. I guess I can call it the China virus.
The China virus, this man said. This guy is so rude, bro. Even though low-key kind of did come from China, but hey, we ain't gonna talk about this over here on YouTube. There's an extended video of where he gets into it a little bit more and his reasoning. But yeah, he ain't feeling us right now, bro. He's still talking that 51st state thing. Low-key, I do think that he's kind of pump faking. I've seen some of y'all saying that in the comments over here. And then some of y'all don't think he's gonna pump fake. He doesn't sound sure. These are tariffs that were supposed to happen in February. Then they got pushed back to March 1st. And now they're getting pushed back to April 2nd. I don't know. It just doesn't sound too confident.
Decreases in crossings at the border for you to continue the pause on tariffs against Mexico and Canada? And
I'm not stopping the tariffs. No, millions of people have died because of the fentanyl that comes over the border.
Even with the 90% drop in border crossings, though, last month compared to about a year ago?
Yeah, they've been good, but that's also due to us, mostly due to us. I mean, it's very hard. It's right now very hard to come.
Yo, this guy's the most arrogant guy in the world, bro. It's like nobody could even get a compliment. He's like, yo, haven't they been doing good? Yeah, they've been doing great, but that's mostly due to us.
Through the border. But the damage has been done. We've lost millions of people due to fentanyl. It comes mostly from China, but it comes through Mexico and it comes through Canada. And I have to tell you that, on April 2nd, I was going to do it on April 1st. But
I played this part already.
That was a different deal. I used to call it the China virus. I guess I can respect to China.
Mr. President, can you clarify the Canada-Mexico tariffs? You had put that 30-day pause, but you just referred to April.
25%.
25%. When does it go into effect?
They're gonna break it down.
April 2nd.
April 2nd for Canada-Mexico.
Correct. And for everything.
Well, we have the fentanyl related is a pause. If they can prove to the president they've done an excellent job, that's what they first do in 30
Have you
days.
guys seen any
And
change?
the overall is April 2nd. So the big transaction is April 2nd, but the fentanyl related things, they're working hard on the border. At the end of that 30 days, they have to prove to the president that they've satisfied him to that regard. If they have,
It's going to be
then
hard
they'll
to
give them a
Yes.
pause,
Yeah.
or
These guys are stressing me out, man, because we watched the video the other day about the lax legal system that we have here and the reason why so much organized crime, the cases get thrown out for those things, just because of the way that these handle surveillance, the way that they handle disclosure. It's going to make it hard for the border czar himself to be able to keep the flow of fentanyl down. I want to read this comment right here from Jay. He says, he said he was going to do it the day he got in, and then it was February, then March, and now it's April. He's a professional pump faker. Some people don't think he's pump faking, though. I do think that maybe he had jumped the gun as far as saying, yeah, as soon as I get in office, you guys tomorrow, right after, the day after. Like, bro, I don't know if that's how things work. I'm not the political guy, but like, kind of like, go to the White House, go settle in for a second. You know, I know as soon as he was inaugurated, he started, he pulled out the pen right away and he's like, all right, so let's get to work. Da-da-da-da. You. Right? He started sending ice out there. People are getting taken out their homes at a mile a minute. But I don't know if he completely thought through the tariff plan before he just said it. It sounds crazy. Like, yo, I'm a tariff you niggas. Watch. Sounds good. And it might be something that he discussed ahead of time. But to me, it just makes headlines. It creates clicks. So it might have not been something that he completely thought through before he said it. All right.
he won't.
It's going to be
up
hard to
him. We'll see.
satisfy. We lose.
Don't get me wrong. Doesn't mean he's not going to do it. All right. It's taking longer because he said something without actually knowing what he was going to actually do at the same time. He'd be saying shit.
300,000 people a year to fentanyl. Not 100, not 95, not 60 like you read. You've been reading it for years. We lost, in my opinion, over the last couple of years, on average, maybe close to 300,000 people dead. And the families are ruined,
That's crazy, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever get this guy twisted, okay? He's the old man, but he's sharp as hell, man. He ain't that old dead guy there, Biden, that was in office before. The man's sharp, and he knows what he's saying when he's saying it too. Okay, even if it's not always aligned and in plan, he has this. I do the weave. He's still very sharp.
When they lose a daughter, when they lose a son, the families are never the same. You're never going to be the same. So you're talking about 1 million people. But when the daughters die, I see it, daughters die and the sons die because of fentanyl. And in some cases, I don't even know they're taking it. They're buying something else and it's laced with fentanyl and they end up dying. And I've known many people who've lost children to fentanyl and for other reasons, but to fentanyl, it's such a big killer. And those people are never the same people. I mean, I've seen people that for the rest of their lives, they're not the same people. They're so different.
And they're saying that Canada is the one pumping all of that Fenty over there. Jeez. Even though, like, technically we're supposed to only be responsible for 1%.
It's not even believable. Dynamic people, happy people they die a miserable death. And that's because of the crap that comes in through China and through Mexico and through Canada. A lot of it comes through Canada. Look, we support Canada. $200 billion a year in subsidies, one way or the other. We let them make millions of cars. We let them send us lumber. We don't need their lumber. We're going to free up our lumber Lee's going to do the head of environmental. We're going to free up our lumber. We have the best lumber there is. We don't need their lumber. What do we need their lumber for?
Oh.
When you look at we
I don't know about that, bro. If you didn't need our lumber, we wouldn't be sending it to you for this amount of decades. Like, we're not talking about, oh, bro, you know, we just started sending them some lumber the other day. We don't need y'all shit. We've been using our own shit this whole time. No, you haven't. And there's a reason for that.
Subsidize them $200 billion a year. Without us, Canada can't make it. You know, Canada relies on us 95%. We rely on them 4%. Big difference. And
Cap.
I say Canada should be our 51st state. There's no tariffs, no nothing. And I say that we give them military protection. They have a very small military. They spend.
Yo, I know this is from a few days ago, but this is like February, let's say 24th when this went out, or when this was recorded. 25th, let's say. This guy has been stuck on this, become the 51st state, Governor Trudeau. Like, y'all think this nigga's playing, bro. He really believes what he's saying.
Very little money.
Yo, that man's hair looks like freaking vanilla frosting.
Military or NATO, they're just about last in terms of payment, because they say, why should we spend on military? That's a tremendous cost. Most nations can't afford to even think about it. Why should we spend on military? The United States protects us. And I would say that's largely true. We protect Canada, but it's not fair. It's not fair that they're not paying their way. And if they had to pay their way, they couldn't exist. When I spoke to, let's call it the prime minister rather than the governor.
Disrespectful, bro. This nigga doesn't have an ounce of respect for Justin Trudeau, bro. Even the way, look at his body language when he was about to talk about him, like, ugh. Like, I'm going to have to start talking about this goofy. But yeah, that guy.
The prime minister rather than the governor. Minister rather than let's call it the prime minister rather than the governor. But
like he looked down, like, I can't even remember my youth's name. What's his name? The prime minister guy.
I spoke to him. I said, why are we giving you $200
What's his name, bro? Say his name, fam.
$1 million a year? He was unable to answer the question. I said, why are we letting you make millions of cars and send them in? He was unable to answer the question. Justin Trudeau. Nice guy. I think he's a very good guy. I call him Governor Trudeau. He should be governor, because the fact is that if we don't give them cars, we don't have to give them cars. The tariffs will make it impossible for them to sell cars into the United States. The tariffs will make it impossible for them to sell lumber or anything else into the United States. And all I'm asking to do is break even or lose a little bit, but not lose $200 billion. And we love Canada. I love Canada.
No, you don't, bro. There's supposed to be a G7 summit coming up soon. I don't know if this guy's going to show up. And it's going to be over here. He ain't. I think he hates Canada, bro.
The people of Canada.
What did Trudeau do to you, fam? You can't hate the whole country. Dare I say, because this is a hip hop platform, that Trump is the Kendrick Lamar of politics? I'm gonna leave that. We ain't gonna talk about Drake and Kendrick no more. But he got kind of that "you ain't like us" kind of vibe going on, man. You're not like us, bro.
Canada.
51st state. I'll make you like us, but for now, you're not like us.
And but honestly, it's not fair for us to be supporting Canada. And if we don't support them, they don't subsist as a nation. Okay.
Mr. President, on the EU tariffs, Mr. President, have you just made a decision on what level you will seek on tariffs in the European Union?
We have made a decision. We'll be announcing it.
Okay, so I got one more video to play off of this, and we'll end this political segment that we have here, because not everybody's happy with the Trumpster's decisions. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, bro, you're gone too far, Virgin. Okay, now this is Jesse Marsh. He's
these international
I
tournaments.
think the president of the soccer association or some shit over there. He's an American guy. So not only are Canadians not feeling this whole tariff thing, there's Americans who are like, bro, you're kind of tripping.
For Canada means something different now. And, I'd as an American, I'd like to address the 51st state discourse, which I find unsettling and frankly insulting. Canada is a strong, independent nation that's deep rooted in decency, really.
Talk
And
about
it's
it.
a place that values high ethics and respect, unlike the polarized, disrespectful, and often now hate-fueled climate that's in the U.S.
Dun, 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 dun. That's why I had this whole backlash or lash out against Kendrick Lamar and Not Like Us. No, but one thing I will say about this whole thing, about the tariffs and stuff, do y'all think that it's caused a little bit of a divide between Americans and Canadians? Not like us and Kendrick Lamar and the divisiveness that I mentioned earlier. I'm talking about the tariffs. Because since then, I read through a list of different products that are American products that they've been sending out over here for us to stay away from. I don't know if that's possible. There's a lot of products that, like, low key, I'm probably still going to buy just because I like it better than the Canadian version or the generic version that you might have available. Like, no disrespect to No Name, but if I have a choice between craft branded, craft, fucking macaroni and cheese and the No Name brand one, I'm probably gonna take the craft dinner from Kraft. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Let me read this over here. Chef Amo says, Friday, we are better off if Canada becomes America. Let's be clear, though. We will still be Canadian, but we will have much more opportunities and freedom. Our so-called leaders are a joke. You're not wrong about that, man. I just feel like it's just not low key. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I just feel that we're going to lose a lot of stripes and pride by just being a country that just gets swallowed up, paused by a whole other country. That means we really had no power this whole time. Where how many decades or hundreds of years, whatever amount of history that Canada has, that all of a sudden we could just be like, you know what? All right, we're just American. We're just one state. We're not provinces and stuff like that. Now they're just counties. That just sounds crazy to me. It feels like it's a breakdown in our morale that would happen in the long run. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the newer generations might not worry about it. They've just always been American. Like anybody who's been born post 2026, let's say this happens, they'll just be like, yo, what are you talking about? We've always been American. But the older generations who were once upon a time Canadian, before they just said, you know what? Oh, yeah, we just bought your country. I think our morale will be a little bit down. Like, we seem a little pussy. Like, oh, they just took your country like that? Yeah, B. We used to have our own, our own national anthem, all types of shit. But, hey, once upon a time, can't look back at the past anymore. That just sounds soft, B. Yeah, am I wrong about that? That just sounds hella soft. I used to be Canadian, but when Trump took office, he said, y'all are some weak bitches. I'm gonna take over your country. So no, we over here now. What you saying, bro? Can I go to the In-N-Out? Let's go to In-N-Out. I don't know, man. Y'all would look at us like we're bitches too. Like, oh, aren't you from that state that used to be a country? Oh, Canada. Yeah. The state of Canada. Y'all heard niggas up in Canada is pussy. We'll still get the same label. They're not gonna think that we're less soft because we're the 51st state. They're gonna think we're softer. The only difference now is maybe we'll be able to carry. But we'll be one of them states, like a liberal ass state. Oh, you guys can't carry guns. You guys can't stand your ground. They'd be like, no guns in the state of Canada at all. Right? Pure Gosu says change the name to something cool. You're gonna change the name too? We extra pussy. Oh, we don't even want you to be named Canada anymore. We're gonna call you New Mexico. I know we got a New Mexico, but you could be Newer Mexico. How about that? That has a better ring to it than Canada. I never liked that name anyway. Like, nah, B. That's just some real lay down shit, man. Y'all never respect us, man. And Trudeau won't even be our governor. It'll be somebody else. He's already gone. I'm sorry, gang. I'm sorry to end this live on a sad note, man. Because I just made myself sad. The thought of becoming the 51st state. And then just, you just always got to, you can never walk with your head high. Like, yo, we the 51st state. Nah, B. You're the state that you're the country that couldn't survive as a country so bad that we were able to swoop in and just make you a state. Fuck out of here, Canada. Pussies. All right? I don't know. I'm just not buying it, man. I don't want that, man. But salute to all our Americans out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying we don't want to be a part of you because we're not down. We have a country. You have a country too. You come visit our country. We come visit your country. On both sides of the borders, there's shit. As far as letting people back and forth across the border, I ain't been able to get over there. There's bare fentanyl getting into the country, but I can't get there. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Instead of letting all the Fenty into the country, let me get over there, bro. Holy. God damn. Anywho, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to check out these other videos on the screen and make sure to like and subscribe.
We love hip hop.